This video is my own interpretation of the horror game Fran Bow and may have nothing to do with how the developers intended for the story to be interpreted. This video does contain spoilers for the game Fran Bow.
So if you have a lot of fear, every time you get into this larger reality system, you end up with problems if you're just kind of there on your own. Now, if you get there through a structured thing, like if you get there because you're listening to this tape and it takes you to this place and this place and you see this thing, then you probably won't have to because you've got this buttoned-down structure. I'm talking about you just get into it unstructured, on your own. There you are. Okay, so get rid of your fear.
Fran Bow is a peculiar game where you really don't know what's going on until you play it multiple times. Even then, all you have are your own theories that may be completely different from the developer's own intentions. My own theory is that Fran Bow is a fantasized interpretation of remote viewing and astral projection. During the final chapter of the game, Fran will come across an old photograph, revealing that her mother, aunt, Clara, and Mia were all part of Dr. Oswald's research on twins at the Center of Brain Research and Pineal Gland Phenomena. According to the Cleveland Clinic's website, the pineal gland is a tiny gland in your brain located beneath the back part of the corpus callosum. The pineal gland is said to help control the circadian cycle of sleep and wakefulness by secreting melatonin. Your circadian cycle is your body's natural 24-hour sleep cycle. The pineal gland is the least understood gland of the endocrine system. Endocrine system being a network of several glands that create and secrete hormones. There are two pronunciations for the word pineal gland. There's pineal gland and pineal gland. The etymology for pineal gland or pineal gland comes from the Latin word pinea or pinea that refers to the pine cone-like shape of the pineal gland. Throughout the game, the player will see various images of pine cones. At first, you probably wouldn't think anything of the pine cones, but I think the reason why there are so many images of pine cones is in reference to Fran's own hyperactive pineal gland. Since the pineal gland isn't understood completely, there are a lot of theories that surround it. One common belief is that the pineal gland is the third eye, one of the 7 chakras. It's believed that you can open your third eye through various meditation methods. There are also studies that say that fluoride blocks your pineal gland, as it can calcify the pineal gland and inhibit the production of melatonin. It's believed that in order to gain the ability to remote view or astral project, you must be able to tap into your third eye chakra. When talking about the third eye, remote viewing, and astral projection, it's best to put on a tinfoil hat and take everything with an open mind. The third eye chakra is located in between your eyebrows. It's widely believed that your pineal gland is your third eye. It makes sense since your pineal gland works as a way to regulate your sleep. Sleep is a state where you dream and easily tap into your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where you would get your intuition and imagination. There are countless videos and websites that will tell you their own way of unlocking your third eye. Most sources agree that you must meditate regularly and let go of stress. There are various Hertz music you can listen to that are said to help unlock certain chakras, including the third eye chakra. It's also noted that your pineal gland is more than likely hardened from calcification due to fluoride, so some will tell you to avoid fluoride. But living an overall healthy lifestyle free from stress is part of unlocking your third eye. When Fran takes the Duotine, it can be rationalized that she forcefully opens up her third eye chakra, which may be why the images she sees are so terrifying. But she is seeing the truth that she could not see because she unlocked her intuition, or again, third eye. It could be seen in a fictionally scientific sense that Duotine is forcing her pineal gland to produce an overabundance of melatonin, as Duotine contains a fictitious substance called ectoplomatine, which empowers the subconscious mind of the user, creating hallucinations. There's no official documented proof that remote viewing and astral projection are real, so the two are considered pseudosciences. There are many books, interviews, and self-proclaimed online psychics that say otherwise. Based on what I learned from remote viewing, there are alternate timelines, so sometimes what you see through remote viewing may not be 100% true, as small details can be altered based on decisions people make with each second. The idea of remote viewing is very fantastical and interesting. With remote viewing, you are able to look into certain events in history or even into the future. You could theoretically witness Jack the Ripper conducting his crimes, or you could witness your neighbor going about their private life at home. You might even witness some weird secret hobbies of a family member. A good example of what remote viewing would possibly look like is in Stranger Things when Eleven taps into her clairvoyance ability to find certain people. So remote viewing is what the name implies, the ability to view things in time and space remotely, like looking into a screen. Astral projection is similar to remote viewing, except that it is an out-of-body experience. It's also explained as a soul journey. Like remote viewing, you can witness different moments in time and space, but this time, you feel as though your soul has left your body, and your soul has moved to the location that you desire to go to. An example of this would be on the American Dad episode The Wonder Cabinet, where Steve goes on his own astral projection journey through time and space. The astral projection Wikipedia page does say that people have had experiences that are similar to astral projection through hallucinogenics and hypnosis. The fictitious drug Duotine contains ectoplomatine that induces hallucinations in the users, making it a hallucinogenic drug. There are two types of Duotine, the yellow pills and the red pills. The yellow pills have a low concentration of ectoplomatine, while the red pills are nothing but pure ectoplomatine. The first chapter of the game is called My Sober Day. We know from both the nurse and the report that Fran has been asleep for 3 days, only to unconsciously drink water throughout those 3 days. So basically, as the chapter states, Fran is completely sober until you have her take Duotine, specifically the red pills, throughout your gameplay. The more pills she takes, the further away from her own reality she goes, until she travels to free, or the 5 realms of essential existence. I believe that during the beginning of the game in Chapter 1, Fran is at the beginning stages of tapping into her third eye, forcing the pineal gland to activate with the use of red Duotine. The Duotine has her see the truth hidden in her own reality in the form of nightmares, almost like a nightmarish kind of remote viewing, tapping into pre-existing information that is hidden away within the matrix that is her own reality. As the player progresses in the game, Fran is slowly moving out of her own reality and into an alternate reality through astral projection. I believe this is first seen during the portion of the game where Fran has to take Duotine to return the key without being seen, as if she's astral projected into an alternate reality where the receptionist is not in the room. I don't think Fran ever actually leaves the asylum within her original timeline. I think during the end of Chapter 1 she almost escaped the asylum, only to be brought back. By then she has taken so much Duotine that she astral projects to all of her adventures. This may be why the chapter where she finally visits the realms beyond is called Vegetative State. Fran's physical body in her original timeline is in a vegetative state because her soul has left and is visiting the 5 realms of essential existence. Astral projecting, while widely explained as an out-of-body experience, at times can also be explained as you're moving out of your body in one space while manifesting a new body into another space. So a lot of times when this experience is explained, the person still has a physical form in this new reality that they are visiting, which would explain why Fran takes on the form of a tree at the beginning of vegetative state. It is explained by Palontras that Fran turned herself into a tree in order to survive the fall when entering Athirsta, so her manifested body that she herself understands it was once again manifested into a tree in order for her to survive her fall. During Fran's ride with Itward, the flying machine crashes, and I think in order to save Fran from the crash, Itward moves Fran into another alternate timeline, which is why he tells her he can't get her home. So Fran's still in a vegetative state in the asylum, is in an alternate timeline where she is taken by Dr. Deern. This is why when she talks to Dr. Deern about the twins, he says that they were sewn together only to pass away a month after the surgery. In the asylum, what we believe are the twins have not been sewn together, but only lobotomized and left in an enclosure. In this alternate reality, Fran is said to have passed away after seeing her parents' corpses, and Dr. Deern believed that Fran had passed as well. But in the beginning of the game, he has been by her side in the asylum as her doctor. There would have been no way Dr. Deern would have been tricked unless she was reported deceased during her escape. These reasons make me believe that the encounter with Dr. Deern is in an alternate timeline and not the original timeline. Then there's the obvious, Remor comes up and takes Fran away, and she wakes up chained to a bed. I think the moment she's chained to the bed is when she is somewhat awake, but not fully, as the realities are greatly skewed. It's revealed at the end of the game that Fran has been one of Dr. Oswald's experiments ever since she was born, as he says that she has a special brain that he wants to take for research. When Fran visits the Ultra Reality, she learns that Ultra Reality Fran is a younger version of herself that is living in the asylum. Ultra Reality Fran has already met Utward and Palantris, who has already mentioned our Fran to the Ultra Reality Fran. Ultra Reality Fran has also met Dr. Leon Castillo, who is more than likely already deceased in our Fran's timeline. All of this suggests that time and space is not linear in the Ultra Reality, and everything is happening at the same time. Itward did say that time moves slower and faster in the Ultra Reality. The fact that Fran has been Dr. Oswald's research experiment since birth and that Ultra Reality Fran is currently living in the asylum makes me believe that our Fran might have always lived in the asylum. Fran could have originally been taking the yellow Duotine pills, and it made her believe she was living at home with her parents. Fran's parents could have been secretly plotting to take Fran away from the asylum and introduced her to her cat, Mr. Midnight, in order to secretly undo whatever mental conditioning that Fran had undergone, only to be caught, resulting in their untimely demise orchestrated by Remor. It could be that Fran's yellow pills were switched to red in order for Remor to take over Fran's body. Fran later learns from Dr. Deern that she was supposed to be taking the yellow pills, but they were secretly switched to the red pills. And there's also this mysterious note that Fran comes across in the first chapter. When comparing the note to Fran's own doctor's note, we learn that the mysterious note is in fact referring to Fran. Since Fran was selected by Dr. Oswald from the beginning, it could be that Fran was born with some kind of mental illness. We know that Fran's mother and aunt were test subjects of Dr. Oswald ever since they were very young. So it could be assumed that whatever mental illness Fran was born with was done on purpose through prenatal medications, more than likely controlled dosages of Duotine. Her unique mental state is what makes her so receptive to the Duotine drug, and it could also be why she is chosen to become the keeper of the key. On Fran's 11th birthday, Itward tells her that her perception of environment is not linked to definition, which would explain why Fran can so easily shift between realities and even visit the 5 realms of essential existence. I believe that in the world of Fran Bow, the 5 realms of essential existence does exist and can be visited through the third eye or pineal gland. Duotine is just a shortcut that forcefully opens up a person's third eye. I do think that Fran was able to get out of her vegetative state and physically escape her chains with the help of Ultra Reality Fran. Because of the effects of Duotine, despite Fran being awake, she is shifting across time and space to the point where it all comes together in a fragmented mess, which is why the chapter is called House of Madness. Until she reaches her original reality that is also a fragmented mess. This may be why she sees her aunt from her original reality kill Mr. Midnight, but in her actual reality, it could be her unconscious mind telling her that Aunt Grace killed the real Mr. Midnight. Fran does attack Aunt Grace and is shot by Dr. Oswald, as he does not care whether Fran is dead or alive. He just wants her brain. I think that Fran, in her dying state, is visited by Itward and Pelantris. They instead take her soul away from her dying body in Pandora, which is why Grace and Dr. Oswald are pushed away, as they are currently in Pandora, while Fran and Dr. Deern are outside of Pandora. Because Fran had injected a captured Dr. Deern with Duotine before he enters the room to plead for Fran's survival, I think the moment he sees Itward and Pelantris, Dr. Deern has astral projected outside of Pandora, but his original body is unconscious with Dr. Oswald and Aunt Grace. Since Dr. Deern has forcefully opened up his third eye, there is a sense of fear within him, as there was for Fran, but it was enough for him to be taken over by Mabuka. Whether or not Dr. Deern is able to survive Dr. Oswald and Aunt Grace in his original reality is up for interpretation. I think when Fran is taken away by Itward and Pelantris, the body she is taken away with is also wounded, since in her reality she has been shot and possibly dying. So her new manifested body is also shot. But Pelantris fixes her with the magic pink water from Ithursta, where Fran is finally free to travel the realms, as she has completely let go of her negative emotions. It's believed by out-of-body experience experts that in order to freely move throughout time and space, you must let go of fear. Because of the constant psychosis that Fran experiences throughout the game in the form of a seemingly nonsensical journey, it's safe to say that everything that happens to Fran is up for interpretation. What are your theories? Do you think Fran actually went to the 5 realms of essential existence, or is she just crazy and none of what she experiences is real? There is a sneak peek of a new game I saw that suggests that Fran has been alive since she's in an older body.